Hello and welcome to From the Book Nook. I'm Anne.
And I'm Gregg. We're here to chat about books that move us and make us think.
Expect honest reviews, lively discussions, and maybe a laugh or two.
We can't wait to share our thoughts with you.
Let's get started.
Okay, so today we're diving into something kind of big.
Okay.
It's this whole idea of, are humans, like deep down, inherently bad?
Right.
You know, we're looking at Humankind, A Hopeful History by Rutger Bregman.
Oh, yeah.
It challenges a lot of assumptions.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll be looking at some pretty wild examples.
Okay.
Like what really went down in a Lord of the Flies type situation. And then the whole blip spirit thing, how people banded together.
Interesting.
And we'll even touch on the Stanford prison experiment and some issues with that.
Right. Some of the problems with that study have come out.
Exactly.
Well, what's so fascinating about this whole thing
Yeah.
is that Bregman takes this belief that's like everywhere,
Mhm.
this idea that we're all just selfish at heart,
Yeah,
and he totally flips it.
he does.
You see this belief in the news,
Yeah,
in our laws, in just about every part of our culture,
it's true.
and it shapes how we see the world.
It's almost like we're always expecting, the worst from each other. It's like survival of the fittest. Only the strong survive.
That's it. That's the common idea.
But is that really the whole story, though? Dan, all there is to it.
Well, Bregman would say no.
Okay?
He'd argue that this survival of the fittest idea,
Mm-hmm.
which we often slap onto human behavior, it misses something crucial.
What's that?
Cooperation. It's been just as important for us to survive.
So we need each other.
Exactly.
Interested.
He says humans are hardwired for kindness and working together.
Okay.
And this isn't some fluffy, feel-good stuff.
Yeah, no.
He uses psychology, anthropology, even evolutionary biology
Wow.
to back it up.
So he's saying it's not just that we're capable of good,
Right.
but that we're actually built for it.
That's the argument.
That's a big claim.
It is.
So how does he prove that, I mean?
Well, one way he does it is by looking at real-life situations.
Okay.
Situations that seem to contradict this whole humans are bad narrative.
Okay, I'm following.
Like, think about the real-life Lord of the Flies.
Oh, right, that book.
That book.
What happens when kids are left on their own?
Exactly.
Chaos, right?
Savagery.
Yeah.
But Bregman found this true story.
Okay.
6 boys stranded on an island for 15 months.
That's a long time.
It is different from the book.
Really?
They didn't turn on each other. They actually created a system, worked together to survive. They even had rules for their little society.
Wow. That's incredible.
It is.
It makes you think
It does.
about how much we believe about human nature.
Yeah.
That might not even be true,
Right. It might just be stories.
and not even accurate stories.
Exactly.
So it's not just about individuals.
Yeah.
It's also about the systems, the social structures.
That's a big part of it.
Even in chaos, we try to create order
You do.
and cooperate to survive.
It's kind of fascinating.
It is. So, okay,
Mm.
what about this blitz spirit thing everyone talks about? It seems kind of strange
It does.
that during one of the most terrifying times in history, people would come together.
You'd think it'd be the opposite, right?
You would.
You'd think constant bombing would bring out the worst.
Yeah, every man for himself.
But during the Blitz, it was the opposite.
Right.
Londoners were incredibly resilient.
Wow.
They shared what they had, helped their neighbors, even formed these little communities and bomb shelters.
So even in extreme danger,
Yeah.
they still helped each other.
They did.
It makes you wonder
It does.
if maybe those high-stress situations
Yeah.
actually reveal our true nature.
Interesting thought.
Like maybe cooperation's the default,
I see what you mean.
and it gets hidden in everyday life,
That's a really interesting point.
and it kind of leads into the Stanford prison experiment,
Oh, right.
which was initially seen as proof
Yeah.
that power corrupts.
That anyone can become cruel.
Yeah, but there were some problems with it.
There were.
Then the researchers encouraged the guards to be more aggressive.
They did. Recent analyses have shown that.
I knew I'd heard that somewhere.
The guards were coached to be authoritarian.
So it wasn't a natural outcome,
Not really. No.
and the results were probably twisted.
Likely to fit a specific narrative.
So it might not be the proof
It was once considered to be.
that we're all inherently bad.
Exactly.
Makes sense, though.
It does.
The way you design an experiment
Yes.
can totally change the result.
It has a huge impact.
But you know what's a really inspiring example?
What's that?
Those twin brothers in South Africa
Oh, yeah.
during apartheid.
It's a powerful story.
It really stuck with me.
It's amazing.
One brother was a white supremacist,
Deeply entrenched in that system.
and the other was fighting for equality.
alongside Mandela.
You'd think they'd be enemies forever.
You would. Total opposites. Well, somehow they managed to connect.
Really?
On a human level.
Wow.
They started to understand each other. And eventually, both dedicated themselves to ending apartheid.
That's incredible.
It is.
That they could find common ground.
After all that.
It really gives you hope, doesn't it?
It does.
For humanity.
Absolutely, and that's Bregman's point.
Okay.
If we're willing to question this whole humans are bad thing,
Yeah.
it opens up a lot of possibilities.
For a better future. So it's not about ignoring the bad,
No.
but recognizing that we're also capable of amazing things.
Kindness,
Yeah.
cooperation.
All of that.
And if we focus on those positive aspects, who knows what we can achieve?
This really makes you think, though.
Doesn't it?
If we are hardwired for kindness, like Bregman says, how do we cultivate that in our daily lives?
That's the question, isn't it?
How do we bring out that good?
It's something worth thinking about.
It really is.
For all of us.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of From the Book Nook.
Thanks so much for joining us. We love having you here in our cozy little corner of the book world.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
And we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and book recommendations in the comments.
It really helps us connect with more book lovers like you.
And we'll meet you right back here in the Nook.
Until next time, keep turning those pages.
Happy reading.
Happy reading.